This animation, 100% made in Canva. Let me show you the step-by-step on how I created this animated product video in Canva. And yes, it's way easier than you think. You can use these animated videos to promote your own products, or you can even offer animated videos as a service and start charging for them. Welcome to our channel where you can learn everything about Canva. Let's start straight away with the tutorial, and I do recommend you watch until the end because I'm gonna mention how you can turn this into a paid service. We're gonna go to the Canva homepage, and from here we are going to create a new video document from scratch. So we're gonna go to the video icon. If you don't see this icon in here, simply go to more and find the video option in here. I'm gonna go for a mobile video, but if you want to create another video format, you can go and search for a different one in here. So I'm gonna go for mobile video. On the first section of this animated product video, we have some elements that are moving or they are rotating on the screen. So I'm going to start by bringing these elements to the screen, and I'm going to use the Canva library for it. You can also use the elements in the Canva library, or if you want to work with your own images, you can upload them from here. Let me go back to elements, and I'm going to search for peanut, and then I'm going to go to photos. I would like to work with this kind of peanut image, the one that has the shell, and once I click on that image, Canva will recommend some other similar images, so I'm gonna work with this as well. So I'm gonna click on them to bring them to my design. I'm gonna scroll down to see if I find something else that I can use, maybe this one and this other in here. Okay, so I think I have enough peanuts to start creating the first part of my design, which is a little circle made out of peanuts. So let me show you. I'm just going to arrange these peanuts like so. As you can see, I'm trying to create a little circle with these peanuts, kind of like a sun shape. Once you have this shape ready, you are going to select all of these elements and group them. I'm gonna do something similar, but this time I'm gonna use peanuts without this shell. So let's go to elements, but this time I would like to find just one little peanut. So let me go downwards to see if I can find something similar to what I have in mind. I think I found one, so I'm gonna click here and see if I have some magic recommendations similar to this one here. Yeah, I can already see some other images that I can use on this animation. Perfect. See all. Okay, let me see, what do we have in here? I'm gonna make them small so it's easier to work with them and start making this round shape of peanuts. Okay, I have decided that I want to use only peanuts without the skin. And now that I have this shape ready, this round shape ready, I'm gonna select these elements and group them. Now, what we're going to do is to position this in the middle of the page, and I'm gonna do the same for this other group of elements. But this group, I'm gonna make it super big so we can only see them on the outside of the page. I'm gonna zoom out so I can make this bigger, something like this. Now I can come closer, and I actually can make these elements bigger, and I am going to add a text box now. And for this text box, I'm gonna use the font called Recoleta. I'm gonna make it bold, and for the colors, I'm gonna use a color available here in the photo colors, something like this. And for the background, if you are having issues selecting the background, go to Position, Layers, and then from here you can select the background. I'm gonna change the color of the background as well. I'm gonna use a color available here in photo colors. I think this one works. And finally, I'm gonna add my text in here, making sure that the text box is aligned to middle and center. Now that we have this layout ready, we're gonna add animations to these elements. So let's start by the text box. I'm gonna select the text box here and then go to animate, and we're gonna choose bounce. From here you have the option to animate them on both enter and exit, only enter and only exit. I like to choose only enter, and then if you have a Canva Pro account, you can select if you want this to be animated by character or by word. I actually prefer it like this, by character, because this makes the animation a little bit more engaging. And now I'm gonna select this group of elements, go to animate, scroll down, and we are going to select rotate. From here, if you have a Canva Pro account, you can play around with the speed of this animation. So at this moment it looks like this. If you want this rotation to go faster, you can move the slider to the right, or if you want to make it move slower, you can move it to the left. And you can also choose the direction of this rotation effect, so you can go to the right or to the left. And by the way, if you want to have a Canva Pro free trial, we have a link in the description. I'm gonna go for this speed and this direction, and for this other group of elements I'm gonna go again to rotate, but this time I'm gonna make these elements move to the left. You can leave the speed as it is, or you can also make it a little bit slower. Now let me show you how this first section of the animated video is looking. This is a pretty simple animation trick, but I believe it is quite effective if you want your animations to be more engaging. I would like to know what you guys think about this trick, and also please let me know if you enjoy watching these kind of tutorials. I personally love to make them, but I want to make sure that you still enjoy these kind of tutorials. Now we're gonna start the second part, or the second scene of this animation, and for this we're gonna add a new page, and in this second part I'm gonna use a video in the Canva library. So I'm gonna go again to elements, and this time I'm gonna search for chocolate milkshake, as my product is going to be a milkshake. Then we are going to videos, and I'm gonna try to find something that has movement and that is going to add something interesting to my animation. I see something that I think it's going to work with my animation, but I need something different. I need chocolate or I need peanuts. So I'm gonna try to see if there is more like this. Okay, we have more with strawberries, not really with chocolate. So let's go back and let's search only for milkshake. Perfect. I think I found the right video for this animation. So I'm gonna bring it to my design by clicking on it, and then I'm simply going to rotate it, right click on it, and replace background. Now I'm quickly previewing this video because I think I'm going to crop out the beginning of the video, because I actually want to see some of this action in here. Now on this second scene I want to add two text boxes. On the first scene we talked about peanut butter, and on the second one I'm going to talk about chocolate, which is the other ingredient in this milkshake, which is the product that I'm displaying on this video animation. So let me add a text box. I'm gonna type here, and because we are talking about peanut butter, and now I'm going to duplicate this text box and add here chocolate. I'm selecting both text boxes and changing the color, and I'm also going to add an effect, a curve effect, to these two text boxes, so they kind of follow this round shape of the blender. Okay, this is looking great. Maybe I'm gonna bring this one a little bit up, and finally I'm going to select this text box and I'm going to crop this timeline a little bit at the beginning, so when we see the second page appearing we see the first text box, and then after a couple of seconds we see the second text box appearing. And I want to add also an animation effect. I'm gonna go again for bounce, only on enter. So the animation starts to look like this. We have these peanuts moving then the video in the background, the text boxes appearing, and I'm gonna start creating the third page. The third page is going to be pretty simple. In here we are going to page 1 and we're gonna copy these elements, the text box and this group of peanuts. So you're going to select them by holding shift and clicking on these elements. You're gonna then Ctrl C, go to the third page and paste them here, so Ctrl V. I'm gonna make these peanuts bigger this time. I just want to see these peanuts in the outside of the page. By copy and pasting these elements, you are going to save time because as you can see, they already have the animations in them, and I'm gonna change the text in this text box. So this is going to be new recipe, and I'm going to duplicate this text box and add a call to action. So try our. For this text box, I'm going to add a curve text effect, and I'm going to change the animation to merge. And now that I'm here in the animate tab, I'm going to click on new recipe, and I'm going to change this one for this pan animation. Now your third page should look something like this. And now I'm gonna do the same effect that we created on the second page. I'm going to remove a little section of the timeline on the second text box. So like this, we see first try our, and then we'll see the second text box appearing, new recipe. Now we're missing something important on this page, and it is the product. I'm gonna use a photo in the Canva library just for the sake of this tutorial, but if you are creating an animated product video, you should use a real photo of your product. Now in this case, I'm going to elements, I'm gonna search for a milkshake, which is the product video that I'm creating in here. Okay, I'm gonna use this one here, and I'm going to remove the background. Perfect. I'm gonna increase the size, and we want to feature the product quite well on this section of the video. And lastly, I'm going to add an animation. Let's go all the way down, and I'm gonna make it wiggle just a little bit. So if you want to reduce the wiggle effect, you will need a Canva Pro account. I'm moving the slider to the left, and now our third scene looks like this. Now we're going to quickly create the last section of this animated video, and this is actually a very important part of your video because in here you are going to communicate how or where people can buy your product. And for the last scene, we are going to duplicate the page number 3. So let's go to the 3 dots, duplicate page. Okay, in here we are going to delete the product. In this section of the page, you can position your logo. I'm gonna type the name of this faked shop, so this will be the milkshake corner. Okay, let me adjust this effect, and I'm going to remove these animations. You can add some other text boxes, you can change the font if you want. And you can add here your shop address or your website or the instructions on how you want people to buy your product. I'm gonna use here a fake address just for the sake of this tutorial. And I think this is ready. I'm just going to make sure that this text box is visible at all times. And we are almost ready. We are going to add some transitions to add more movement to this animated video, and we're also going to add music. Now you would like to take your cursor and put it in between the 2 pages that you want to add a transition to. So I'm gonna click here. Now for this transition in particular, I'm gonna use a circle wipe because as you can see, we have these peanuts arranged in a circular shape, but we also see the blender from the top and it has a circular shape as well. So this is going to work fantastic. And from here you can decide if you want the circle wipe to go in or out. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. And now I'm going to add the other transitions. For these other 2 transitions, I'm going to use flow. What I like about this animation is that you see the peanuts floating on top of the milkshake, which adds something special to the animation. And then for the last transition, I'm gonna use again flow, but this time I'm going to change the direction so all the elements move upwards, like so. Lastly, let's go to elements and let's search for a song. Once in the elements tab, you can scroll down until you see the audio section, click see all, and from here you can search for anything that you like, or you can also filter the tracks with these buttons in here. I recently found this song and I think this is going to work well with this animation, and you can try to search for it with this name, Bouncy Catchy Feel Good. Make sure that this guide is at the beginning of your animated video and then click on the song. Okay, now let me go closer to this timeline because I can see that there is silence at the beginning of this track, and we need to start this animation with some music because if not it can be a little bit boring. So let me just show you that if I leave it as it is, it will look like this. Okay, so as you can tell, there is nothing going on in here. I'm going to crop this section of the song so we can hear something as soon as we see the animation starting. Now, there is something important in here, and it is that every section of this animation is a little bit too long and it is not synchronized to the beat of the song. So by having this track selected, the audio track, you're gonna go to the toolbar on top and select Beat Sync. This is a pro feature. Again, if you want to try Canva Pro, there is a link in the description. And what it does is that Canva syncs your pages and elements to the beat of the song. So let me click here, pay attention to the length of these pages and elements because they might change. Okay, now let me play this video and see how it looks. I think it is looking quite amazing, but I think I'm going to make it a little bit more engaging. Nowadays, with these short videos, short animations, we need to make everything faster. And I believe having 5 seconds, more than 5 seconds per page, it's a little bit too long. So to do this, I'm going to use these little marks in here to crop my content. So I'm gonna crop the first page like so, second page maybe here, maybe here. Let me see how it goes in here, and these two like so. Now let me play again this animation. I'm gonna click on the track and see if it's still synchronized. No, let me click here to synchronize the video again. So it increased the length of these pages, but we are still under 20 seconds. So this is good. Let me play the video again. I think this is looking good. I just believe we can crop this third page a little bit more. And then finally, I'm going to click on the track again, click on fade on the toolbar on top and add a fade out. I believe 1 second is good enough and we're ready to download this video. Now, before you download your animated video, I do suggest you go again to every single page on your animation and you double check the text and also how every transition is looking. And I do suggest you view your animation with this guide because like this, you can see little details that you can adjust later in your editing. So for example, here, I would like new recipe to appear a little bit after. So let let me see this again. Perfect. Now let's see this transition. This looks good. Perfect. This is ready to be downloaded. Now let's go to share, download. Now from here, you are going to leave it as MP4 video. If you have a Canva Pro account, you can increase the quality to 4K. I'm leaving all the pages selected. And now, pretty important, if you are using the music available in the Canva library, you would like to connect your accounts to Canva in here. This will allow you to avoid content ID claims. So I'm going to connect my account. It's already connected. You can see the name of our channel here. And now I'm ready to download this animated product video. And here's the final video. And stay watching because I'm going to tell you a couple of tips that you can use to turn this skill to create animated videos into a paid service. Now, if you would like to turn this Canva animation skill into an additional income stream, here's a quick roadmap. First, you need to master your craft. You need to keep practicing until every animation looks polished and client ready. You need to pay attention to every single transition. You need to make a great element, color, and music selection. Then it is time to package and showcase. And that means that you need to have a clear service offer where potential clients actually hang out. That means places like Fiverr, Upwork, your own website, or even your LinkedIn profile if you have clients or potential clients following you in there. And you're gonna make sure that you have samples of these animated product videos in there so your potential clients can see exactly what you can build for them. And I know many of you will ask in the comments, how much can I charge for an animated video like this? And the answer is that your rate depends on, first, your expertise and also the marketplace you choose. For this, you need to do your own research and see what similar animation costs and see where you can position yourself. You can charge a little bit higher if you have expertise in creating storyboards or the copy for the videos, or if you are still building your portfolio, you can charge a little bit lower than the average. Now, you start selling, and what do you do next? I suggest that if you have happy clients, you can ask them for permission to use the final video on your portfolio and also ask them for a quick testimonial. You can showcase this whatever you have your service offer to build trust, to boost your credibility, and to hopefully raise your prices over time. And that's it. Remember that you need to master your craft, create a clear service offer, price it right, and keep building trust. Remember, we have a free trial of Canva Pro in the description, and if you want to master Canva, check our Canva Master course. I think this is it for this tutorial, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!